Alright, hi everyone. I realize I am, oh boy, a little red today. I thought we could do just a quick um, knitting podcast, a little update, because I realized I haven't actually sat down and showed you guys what I'm working on yet. So I don't have any finish objects. I can't remember what I showed you in the last one. So we're just gonna pretend like we're starting fresh. Starting new. We're all good. But my works in progress are not a lot, but they're concerning. So my first one is, if you watched not my last video but the video before, you know that I am working on my wedding shawl. I took it off the needles and I have made a grave mistake. I have made a counting error. You know how it goes. You start learning how to knit and crochet, and then all of a sudden you learn you don't know how to actually count. Well, I did my math wrong, and so now it looks like this. It's straight up has a side. It doesn't go out. I can't. It doesn't. It looks like this. It doesn't lay flat. Turns out that I think I messed up right about where these beads are, so I don't have to rip out a lot, just like to here. And so what I'm going to do is I have my little needle, and pretty soon here I'm gonna run a lifeline through, and I think I can install it after the fact, hopefully. And so I'm going to run a lifeline through, and then I am going to unpick the edge that I bound off, because I had bought some barber cord, a big thing of barber cord from like Amazon, because that's where I knew I could get it, and it's like just like a spool of it, because how wide I need this shawl, I needed it to be like, I just needed a lot more barber cord than I could get at my yarn store. So I went online to Amazon, I bought some barber cord. That's when I realized I maybe had a problem, but I didn't think to like wait. So I put it back on the needles and I cast it off and thinking maybe that would help, like maybe the barber cord was the problem, and it's not. It's because I did my math wrong, so I love that for me. So yeah, that's gonna happen eventually. I had toyed with the idea of just leaving this and like starting over, but I don't know, I'm kind of attached. Like, I like the little hearts. They just look so cute. I want the hearts. So after giving it some thought, letting it sit for like 2 weeks, talking to some women at Knit Night, I have decided to pick this back up in a little bit and finish it. I mean, I've still got plenty of time, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's what this is. It's so great. That's what's happening with that. So I'm just gonna leave that right here so we can all look at it. You can see it even better when I lay it out. When I lay it flat. Look at that. I love it. I'm trying so hard not to be mad right now. Because I have no one to blame but myself and my inability to add, apparently. But the next project that's going, is going a little bit better. It's also not very long, so that's why it's going so much better. But my fiance and I, there's a used bookstore, like one town over, because our town, okay, so it's just kind of weird. Like, our town doesn't technically have like a used only bookstore, because it closed a while ago, but we have a bookstore. We have like a local one. It's just like, it doesn't have, like, it has used books, it just doesn't have like a large select, it's not like used only books. So we usually go one town over because, they have a really well established one, and I like it a lot because it has a really big knitting, crocheting, like crafting, like it has a little aisle. I also love this bookstore because they have like books stacked on books, like on the floor, and I don't know why, but it's great, and I have a blast every time I go in there. But I found this 6,000 plus pullover possibilities. So it is an interchangeable option for custom knit sweaters, and I thought it was super cool, mainly because I liked I like the idea of knitting sweaters, and I like designing them myself, because you followed along. I like to just fuck around and find out. But it comes with like different back shapes, and it's got like it depends on how you want your shoulders, and if you want like an empire waist kind of look, or it's got different sleeves, so it tells you how to do like cap sleeves. But it also just comes with a ton of charts, so you pick the kind you want, the size you want, and it tells you how many to cast on, how many to decrease or increase, and when to make those for each size. So they're already like pre-rated basically. You just have to like plug in your stitches. And then I had checked out another Barbara Walker knitting stitch dictionary it's the same one that I checked out a while ago, but I checked it out again. And I don't know if I ever showed that to you guys, but I like checked out a stitch dictionary because I haven't decided which one I want, and I'm still slowly kind of like looking to see if maybe one pops up at the used bookstore, because while I don't mind paying full price or like for a new one, I would like very much just like support my local used bookstore. But I told my fiance that I would make him another sweater. So I've already made him, I guess, one sweater and a cardigan of sorts. But I told him I would make him another one that like actually fits and he can wear. And I had a bunch of this Barocco vintage, just like in my yarn stash. So I had this really nice gray color and a gold, and then I have a red and a blue. So I'm doing, it's just a basic knit one, purl one, stitch. This does come in pieces, which is fine, I think, because it's just like the way the sweater is working, because I let him pick like I let him pick the design, so he picked like what kind of shape he wants, so he's getting like set in sleeves, but he's also getting like kind of where the colors go. I wanted it to be like hands-on for him because I don't want it to be something that he doesn't like, and I think it's much more meaningful when he gets like, when people just get say in their knitted gifts. So this is what it looks like. We're doing a twisted check stitch for the body. Twisted check. I obviously have not gotten this far, very far, because I got into a test knit. So this is on the back burner for the moment because the test knits needs to be done in August. So I have to get knitting. But I think I'm doing fine on that one. So I'll just have more time on the weekends, and it's just been kind of like I need to pack it around with me. But that's where I've got so far on his Christmas sweater. And I know once I like finish my test knit in August, I'll have more time to like dedicate solely to that, because this guy is getting quite large, and also it's lace, so it's just not fun to carry around with me. Like, just like the idea of having to pack this thing and like remember where I am is I've already tried that. I failed. Obviously, I can't count. I didn't do my math right. So that was my sweater is my second one. And then I have, so as I mentioned, you know, getting married. Obviously, we started out with a knitting project. I have this, I think it's sport weight, brown sheep, nature spun in the sport. But it's just this nice purple. My fiance had mentioned one time that he likes the looks of knit ties, and I said, oh, I want to knit a tie. So this is my tie, my tie test. Obviously, I haven't gotten very far because I took up a test knit and did a couple other things. So that's just like sitting. It's not technically a whip, but like it's a whip. It's something I want to knit, but that I'm not gonna focus on until the test knit is done, and then it's gonna be kind of like a how easy is this to piece together kind of thing, and that'll depend on if it becomes like my travel around with me project, like when I go to knit nights when those start back up, and because we have like July knit nights, and so we're doing like meeting in a park for the month of July, but like eventually school's gonna start back up, and that's when our knit nights usually follow the school schedule. So I'll go back to knit nights at the store in like August or September, I think. I can't remember exactly. I think we take the month of August off and then we go back, because school in Idaho starts technically like late August, so maybe we go back in September, but it honestly doesn't matter. I'm gonna go eventually. But my other test knit is the, hold on, the Vasarly shorts by Paul Hasemeyer. I've tested it for him before. He did the zipper. If you were around for Vlogmas, he was the designer behind the zipper cardigan Wade's sweater pattern that I test knit for him. But he came out with some shorts, and they're like an optical illusion or something. So I started them. They are very nifty. I just had, okay, so it takes lightweight yarn. It's a DK weight pattern. And I had a bunch of it in that Barocco Softy cotton. I think I have enough, but also this is just a stash buster, so whatever I don't use, like, the way it's going to work is I'm going to use all of this that I can. And then whatever I can't knit with this guy, I'm going to go get a different color, and it's going to be kind of like, my fiance really likes color blocking, and he likes the shorts. He liked the idea of them when I showed it to him, so I'm hoping that knitting them will just be like a fun little short pattern for us to wear, because we wear basically the same size clothes. But that's my test knit, is the shorts. It's knit in pieces and then seamed up, which seems pretty simple. That's what we did with this sweater. So I'm hoping that it'll be kind of a quick knit, because that was a decently fast one, I think. The sleeves were the longest thing on that, but there's no sleeves because it's not a sweater. So fingers crossed I can finish it before August. I think I can, honestly. I think I just need to buckle down and stop being so slow. But it's kind of fun so far. I'm having a good time. It comes with like a sizing chart, and so you can like know when to do your like increases and your decreases, and I like the look of them, so I'm very excited, especially because like it's kind of nice with this cotton yarn to have like some like cotton shorts, and I've never knit shorts before, so I think it's kind of like a fun little thing. But like, it's honestly not hard. It's also using shadow knitting, which I've never technically done before, but like I looked it up and it's not hard. So I'm like I'm kind of having a fun time. So yeah, that's my whips, my finished objects, and I guess my new acquisition. I haven't bought any yarn recently. I did finally cake up Hank number 2 for that thing, but now I have to rip a bunch out. Also, I still have this like little, I like caked this guy up at the yarn store because I said I'll be damned if I have to wind this ball again by hand. So this little guy is what I technically had left, so I need to unwind that and probably like rejoin it with this before I use this. But I am excited because so far it's done pretty good. I might measure it when I get it back on the needles, or when I get the stitches all ripped out, and see how far I am, because I have not done that yet. And then it'll just be fun. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Work was picking up for a little while, so I didn't have as much time to knit, but work is going to slow down starting next week. So I'll have a little bit more time. It'll go back to like normal. I'll have my like regular, time off kind of thing. But yeah, I think that's it. Very excited for Barbie next week. So I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go see the Barbie movie. So excited. But yeah, I think that's all I had. That's all my whips for this week. Fingers crossed I'll be a little bit better at making content in the future. I know I've been kind of lax about it, but I've just been living life, and also I haven't been knitting that fast. I've been like working solely on that thing, but I'm hoping now that I have like a few projects in the works, I'll like get back up on that. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.